Alright, stand by, let me reset the mic here. Okay, and we're back. Shaggy SoCal 2 for Forza, and for the second race for this coming Thursday's TNT races, again, the Mazda 323 is going to be VIR South. So I'm not going to spend a lot of intro time on it. I'm just going to get straight into it. So I'll do my couple of quick outlaps just to kind of refresh my memory a little bit, and probably do a slow lap, talk about how I approach what I'm looking for at VIR South, especially the infield section. And then, and again, because I do need to practice a little bit, I'll do the mock race against the AI with what I think is race distance, and we'll see how it goes. But first off, let's just go around a few laps here and see what the car does. So again, for sake of laps, since we're all running different compounds, I'm just going to do medium tire compound with what I think is going to be race distance fuel. So again, certainly if I were to run this with soft compound or some combination with less fuel, lap times will be a little different, but let's see what happens here. Again, you can use a lot of the exit there. I tend to, coming on the front straight here, I just kind of let the car run straight. It'll move to the middle of the track as the track kind of kinks, and then it just naturally moves back out. Braking right before the corner worker shack there on the left side. Hairpin is double apex or late apex, depending on how you want to take it. Heading into the infield section. So what I'm looking for, the braking is going to be right where at the dip here. Down to second, turn in just past the light. You can use a lot of this inside curving, especially that one. This turn, I'm still figuring out if first or second is better. I think it depends on tire. And I think this hairpin also is dependent on tire. I think if you're running mediums or softs, you might be able to do it in second. If you're running hard tire compound, you're probably going to have to drop it to first, but your mileage may vary. This turn here should be able to take it flat out. I mean, I can take it flat out on the hard compound once they're warmed up, so... Down there, almost too wide. Second gear, use a bit of that inside curving, let the car drift all the way out. Get that out of the way. Again, just going to keep the wheels straight. It's going to kind of go in the middle of the track. Then as the track turns to the right, the car will come back over the left side and set you up nicely for the hairpin. So the late apex should be a little bit wider. The line not that wide. And then late apex it there. So I tend to late apex it, more than a double apex, but that's my own preference. And then certainly, I don't know if I've got somebody right behind me, I would probably protect the inside a little bit more and make it a double apex corner. Car understeer, so I think usually I just kind of work with it out to the cones. That's going to be a turn that I think we're all going to struggle with a little bit. There's a lot of the inside curve there. I'm not going to wind that out a little bit more on the revs. We'll do one more, and then we'll do the slow. See if I can do the double apex. I'm really hugging in the inside now. Brake right there. Downshift with the curving. Really use the curving. Where's this time? we're all gonna have fun with that. Off-track violation. It's because I hit the cones, isn't it? All right, we'll go finish this lap out, and then I'll do kind of the quote-unquote track walk. Get a little more in depth. Coming out of the final corner, you can use almost all of the runoff there. Almost all of the runoff. So when I talk about coming down the front straight, we'll start here. Like when I come out of the final corner, I'm keeping the car, pretty much not this far over to the left, but pretty far over to the left, almost to the point where I'm kind of using the corner of where the grass is there, for the pit entry, that I'm gonna be right on that as I get to here. Don't pull a stew and get too far over and hit the pit attenuator that he did in the Civics a while back. But usually the line I take out then is the front straightaway isn't, as you can see, it kind of curves to the right. So the angle I usually take out as I'm coming down this first part across start finish, in keeping the wheel straight, the car's just going to naturally kind of hit to mid-track here. I'm going to kind of straddle the seam as I get to the dip here where it starts to go uphill. It's also the point where the track starts to turn to the right a little bit. So without having to change the wheel at all, the car will just naturally start to come back over to the left as you come up the hill and the track turns to the right. But ultimately, however you want to do it, you want to be on the left side as you crest the hill. You're going to brake right before this temporary lighting in the corner worker. I call it the corner worker shack. Looks more like a small gazebo. But there's a nice gentleman there also if you can see him. But basically using that as a reference, as I'm getting to it, that's where I'm braking. Again, as I talked about earlier on some of the, for the hairpin, lovingly known as bitch. I'm going to get demonetized for that. When I was doing a lot of lightning laps back in Forza 6, or the line I was tending to take in, the line the game wants to suggest is kind of you do a double apex. You hit the initial apex here, you bring the car out a little bit, and then you late apex the exit. I think the line I tend to take is a little more what I would do on the lightning laps is I would probably miss the first apex and take a little bit wide there and late apex the second. Again, I'm not saying my way is better. It's just that's what I will tend to do. However, if I've got somebody that's trying to draft up on me or I want to take a slightly defensive line, I'm probably going to try and take the double apex to protect the inside as much as I can. But again, I usually would take a little bit wider of an entry here and then kind of intersect where the line is and then bring it across for the late apex out to the left side. Try and be neat and tidy on the exit. You do get a little bit of exit curbing there, but it's not much. And then the grass here tends to want to pull the car off the track. So if you do drop tires in the grass, I would say just take your foot out of the gas a little bit, get the car, slowly bring it back on. Once you know you've got all four tires back at the tarmac, then you can hit the gas again. Otherwise, you're going to be doing a lot of this trying to get the car recovered. So coming down to the next set of corners, usually I'll just then stick to the left side, and then where the road kinks to the left, that's when I'll let the car come back across to the right side of the track. For me, the braking, if you can't see the braking line, the safe bet is brake right about where the elevation starts to change, and you kind of hit the dip to head up the hill. That's the best place to brake. The next thing I'm looking for is the temporary light pole here on the inside. So I'm on the brakes, and I'm releasing the brakes just as that light pole is getting the edge of my screen for the FOV that I'm running. As that's going out, that's about when then I'm releasing the brakes and turning in. Now these next set of corners, there's two ways to do it. You can downshift a second here if you want, or you can leave it in third. That's up to you. But as soon as I release the brakes like that, I'm actually going to turn in a bit early. It is a blind entry, but if I get it timed right, I am going to abuse the curbing here, and I'm going to try and straddle it. Now, I'm not going to be on the throttle or really gassing the throttle until I'm sure the car is straight. But just if you want to use the for these next two, I actually say it's actually faster to kind of use the inside and drop tires on the grass. Just be mindful of it is going to, the car at this point, you've got the little bit of steering. The car is going to rotate probably a little more to the left than you expect it to once you get onto the grass. It's not going to spin you out, but just be aware of it. You're going to feel that little bit of movement in the back end. That's fine. It helps rotate the car. Down the hill, I'm in second gear, or you could be in third at this point. This is the one that I'm really going to abuse. So I'm going to straddle it, almost get my left sides onto the curbing here. But also, it's going to, again, because you're on two different surfaces, the car is going to rotate a little bit more to the right than you might expect it to. That's fine. Going to come straight off, go straight across to the inside of the next corner. If you're in third gear, drop it to second. If you're in second gear, drop it to first. Hug the inside of this corner. And then once you kind of get past the apex and you're on your way out, figure out where it works best for you, but you can go ahead and start mashing the throttle to get the car out of the corner. Out, bring it to the right side, bring it back to the left. Now, this is the one I think we're all going to be struggling with. You'll probably have it up in third gear. You can, you can wind it out in second if you want to bang the rev limiter. But braking here for this corner to get back onto the main circuit. Just looking at the map, it is an increasing radius corner, so it's really tight on the way in and it opens up on the way out. Because of the understeering nature of this car, especially when you're trying to get back to the throttle, I think, at least for me on the harder tire compounds, that first gear is best bet. And when you get back to the throttle, ideally, you kind of want to be in the mid-track and then maybe out to the left side, by the time you get back on the main circuit. But I think our tendency is we're going to get back on early and we're going to come out to the left side way early here. So this is just going to be one of those, just play around with the line, find what works best for you. But ultimately, whichever arc you take out of the corner, you're going to be on the left side of the track, definitely by the time you get past the cones. I'm still going to be trying to figure that out. So, first gear, second gear, third gear, bring it back to the right side. Now, it's harder to tell on this layout. Ooh, pardon me. Didn't get enough sleep last night. That as you kind of crest this hill, there is a little bit of a dip here before the left-hand turn down towards Oak Tree. So visually, one of the things I try to look for, and I look for in the daytime, who knows what it'll be on race night, but you've got the tree there that's on the left that's just about to go out of view, and then right just past that, then you've got temporary lighting that'll be there. So usually that's what I'm kind of trying to spy in my peripheral as I'm approaching this corner, that if I have to brake, that's kind of where I would do a check braker like that. For this car, for this layout, that is a good reference point to look for as far as knowing when to start to look for turn in. As that goes out of view, you should be able to start turning in. Again, like I was running practice laps on hard tire full fuel. Once the tires were warmed up, I could do this flat if I got the turn in right. So if I can do it flat on hard tires, you all can do it flat on mediums and softs. So go ahead and turn the car in. You can use the inside curbing here without much risk. I'd rather you use the inside curbing than to try and use the outside curbing. Bring the car back to the left here. And for me, the braking, let me just bring this up a little bit further, because again, my bad eyes at speed, I can't read the numbers at speed, but yeah, it is the two board. It's 3, 2, 1 turn. So I'm usually braking at what is the two board. It's also the board. It's also the signage board right before the outside billboards there here. So maybe at that intersection point, that kind of correlates with the braking line. The other thing too is it's also three boards, 3 brake boards till the corner. So the two board is about what I'm looking for. Brake. Bring the car in, drop it down a gear on the way in, just kiss the apex here, let the car drift out. Be careful. You might be able to feather the throttle. You might be able to give a little bit of a throttle, but it kind of lulls you into false sense of security if you give too much. then you miss your braking for the final corner, and sometimes you wind up going wide. You know, so at your own risk. So, but out here, second gear, just past the motul signs. I'm going to try and arc the car back in and use as much of that curving as I can. Hit the throttle all the way out. Again, you can use a lot of this exit curving onto the asphalt. Um, I don't know where the exact dividing line is. I think there it is. So what the game seems to tell you is you can use the pavement on the left side on the outside of the curb, as long as you don't get your right side tires onto that asphalt as well. So, you know, I would say you can straddle the curving a little bit, maybe cheat a little bit, 2/3 of it on the way out without risking a track penalty. So that's a lap of VIR South. So hopefully, again, nice long. You know, you get a good run out with the drafter like that. I would expect most of the passing is going to be into quote unquote turn one. Um, and once you get into the infield, that one's going to be probably, I think, more passing of opportunity. If you're going to pick up positions, it's going to be because people messed up versus trying to set people up for passing. So I say that now. Who knows what's going to happen in the race? But speaking of race, let's go ahead and go to the event menu and let's set up a mock race because I need to practice. And here's where the fun begins. Event setup. Go back to circuit race, custom, VIR, south, number of laps. Yeah, I think the magic number here is going to be 25, give or take a lap or two. Let's do random. Let's do timer. I do like the 12 times 12 rolling. Weather random again. If Forza says, hey, let's give you rain, I'm going to say no. We'll do track rubbering. Driver difficulty. We'll go to 23 driver tires. Hedge icons, rules, expert. Nope, we're not going to go backwards. Standing random, that's good. No roll-off delays, no end of race timer. Mandatory pit stops 1. We're not comparing best laps. That should be good. So let's go ahead and accept those changes. Oh, Forza. Why do you do this to me, Forza? Why? I don't want rain. Event setup. And I know you're probably thinking, well, why did you just set it? I do like the randomness of it. What are you going to give me? Looming clouds at 2 p.m. All right, so we're going to be racing into sunset probably. That's good enough for me. So for car, fuel and tire, I do have to run hard tire compound, full fuel. All right, let's start the race. Now, depending where I start, if I'm all the way back, most of the way back. But what I am going to do is I'm going to let the field by. I want to start at the back just so I have traffic to work through. Because that's really, for me, that's the biggest benefit for me on these practice races is working traffic. So I would say, again, once you get into the infield section, trying to set people up and actually make passes, I think is going to be difficult. So I would just try to be close enough to take advantage if somebody makes a mistake, but give yourself enough space that you don't get caught up in other people's issues. Just take it nice and easy through here. Maybe if you want to try and set up a pass into the last corner, getting back on the first lap, yeah, there might be a possibility to do that. But again, it's a long race, so there's plenty of racing that'll happen. Okay, now the racing begins. Coming in my inside. Alright, you're gonna go defensive? I'll back across. Let off a little bit early, brake a little gently. Again, I don't want to get into other people's calamities. I don't want to cause calamity either. What's up with the sound and the Lancia's exhaust pops, but it sounds like more like it's grinding gears than anything else. Okay, this shifts. Okay, so he's on the alright, he's definitely got the line. I'm gonna back off a little bit. Alright, if you're gonna give me the outside, I'll take it. Advantage of pits. Oh, I totally missed the braking. Almost went on. Over the AI there, but again, not close enough to force a pass now. Got a big enough run here that I can set up for this corner, but again, it's really tight, so I want to make sure I leave room. Someone looking on the inside. Not close enough to really try and force a pass into the hairpin, but Stu stays to the outside, so I'll leave a little room for him there. And we're going to try this move on Goose. Still not close enough, so I'm just going to leave enough space. Looks like I got a little more to the inside. It's not impossible to pass through the infield, but you got to communicate and you got to work with your opponents. did try to haul it back onto the race course, so that was good that I left a little room out there. Still comparing best lap scores. Why do you do that, Forza? I need intervals. And that's what happens when you go wide. So I'm just going to get the car set, watch behind me, make sure that when I bring it back on that I'm not going to bring it across the track and get in somebody's way. Out. Yeah, if you get a little too much of that anti-curbing, we will get the back end to step out a little bit, but should be totally controllable. Braking right there. The car's still pushing a little bit too much on entry. Oh, somebody pulled the stew. Would have been funny if the Stew's driver tar would have done that. For those that don't know, a few seasons back in Forza 7, I can't talk and drive. We ran the Mugen CRXs, and yeah, Stu just coming out of Oak Tree just let the car get a little too far out to the left and clip the pit wall. Set him spinning. I don't think he quite spun all the way across the track, but doing best lap scores. I have no idea. It'd be nice to know. I'm still kind of looking at the map, going, there's at least 3 or 4 cars still ahead of me. We'll see if we can set fast lap. Probably pit at the end of lap 13. Well, at least with the compare best lap scores, it is at least can't talk and drive at the same time. Now, at least the positioning looks to be more physically where, you know, I'm 6th place on track. So having all sorts of trouble. So when I'm going across the curbing here, you know, I'm off the gas completely. Especially the bottom one there before that tight hairpin, because I don't want to do anything that's going to get the tires to spin up on the grass and then unsettle the car. And if you get the line right, you should just be able to, you know, just ease off the gas and roll back in and get back onto the tarmac. Almost time to pit. I missed it. That's going to be the hardest thing for me to get right, is just getting the braking down. And the problem is that I'm just expecting more grip on turn-in than what I really have, or at least what I'm used to. Getting darker. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe at least for me, I should just use first gear. Get the car slowed down. Oops. That's a big penalty. Boy, having a little bit of issue there. Catching some slower traffic, so probably a good time to pit. tires. And we're gonna skip. It's not gonna make much of a difference. So yeah, very, very, very short pit lane. What does it do when it releases me? Oh, that's fun. Thank you, Forza. So yeah, as soon as it releases you, it's gonna put you across the track. So dial in a little left-hand steering. And if you're coming up the front straightaway and someone's exiting the pits, just be aware the car may shoot across the track. That would be like, okay, turn 10. Now you got a lot of other stuff in your mind, but I think you need to go and review what the position of the car is on the track when you release. And is that a safe place to release the car if there's, you know, faster traffic on, you know, if there's cars on track coming by at the same time. Sometimes I don't think that thought was put into that. Stay there, thank you. Yeah, I aim for that cone. Trying to keep the track clear. I can get a little bit of draft off Jones. Oh, he should have stayed in fourth. Practice pass into turn one. This is a risky pass. If you go in too hot, you're going to push wide and then shove the guy off the track. If the guy on the outside doesn't back out, they're probably going to go wide and go off the track. So, and I think most, as far as, you know, well, at least for me, I don't know how much passing I'm going to be able to set up, but just as far as for me, the best place to pass on this track is going to be into one. So everything I do, you know, for the rest of the lap is what do I need to do? Where do I need to have my car situated so that coming out of that last corner onto the front straight, I get the best run out, that I can catch the draft and possibly set up a pass into one. And, you know, depending on traffic, that may mean I have to kind of sit in traffic or back off a little bit, you know, so that my exit onto that last turn isn't compromised by the car in front of me. Drivatar having all sorts of problems here at VIR. Tom Bohar's Drivatar. That's not the fastest way through there. Get 118.1. I wonder if I get 17s before the end of the race. Hopefully so. Just checking engine damage. A bit late. Yeah, braking for that corner is, you know, if you can't see the braking line, it's just as the road starts to go up. Probably a good idea to start braking. Lap below the lights turn on. The answer is this lap. At least the track lighting's turned on. Flirting with that outside curbing. started to adopt the suggested line through turn 1. What's going on here? I guess that's just the way the light's reflecting off the catch fencing. It almost looks like somebody's having a big barbecue. A lot of smoke. .17, but I think that's more just track conditions changing than my driving ability. Stay there. There's a lot of that inside curbing, but it's not faster. Still want to try and late apex it. Second place. I don't know how far up Lazar is. Might have a shot at second. Come on, draft. Yeah, but I'm just gonna take a look so I can at least see where I need to brake. Take a look. It's still not close enough. Too bad. So that's VIR South in the Mazda 323, 117.2. And yeah, so 25 laps, it might be a lap or two less than that. I forget the target time Matt aims for, but it'll be in and around there. So that's VIR South in 323. Again, a little bit more technical on that infield section, but um, fun racetrack. I think again, I think a lot of the battles and a lot of the passing is going to be done into that first turn off on the front straightaway. So it's definitely the best place to try and set up a pass. So with that, hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you on Thursday, and happy racing. Oh, got to see the podium. I'm at least on the podium. I think I'm, yeah. Good place, yay! And I'm in my right driver unit, my right driver gear. Okay, so with that, happy racing. We'll see you on Thursday.